welcome back to another video in my thrifting vintage kind of series. Kind of mentioned that I wanted to do a version of this where I try and redesign either my spare room or my office room and turn it into my Pinterest board. You guys seem to be on board with that idea and quite a few of you requested it in the comments, so I've decided to go with the spare room just because that's actually my favourite room in the flat. I'll insert some of the before shots now. As you can see, it's quite a good shell, I would say. I'm obsessed with the wooden floorboards. This was kind of the room that we used as our bedroom before we moved into the bigger room which we're in now, just because it has a carpet so it's a little bit warmer in the winter. But this room is my favourite room. It's a bit of a shell at the moment. There's a lot of empty cupboard space, as you'll probably see from the shots. Like, it just looks a bit empty, a bit barren and a bit bare. So we're gonna try and do some vintage and charity shopping around Edinburgh. There are a lot of good homeware sections in the charity shops that I never really look at because I'm always just shopping for clothes, but I would love to go in and properly look for some bedroom items. That is the challenge. First step is to look at my Pinterest board. I've got 33 pins here, so not too many. You can immediately see nothing is too perfect. It's all kind of mismatched. There's not a lot of symmetry. I'm seeing a lot of like warm, cozy lighting. There's a little salt lamp here. I've actually got a salt lamp that I could maybe use in there. I'm also going to be trying to use pieces that I already have where I can. A lot of light bedding, stripy bedding as well, some like blue and navy stripes, blue and white stripes. And I'm seeing this ball light a lot. That would be cool if I could find one of those, but also just generally cozy, warm lighting, multiple lamps, no overhead lighting. And at the moment, overhead lighting is what we are working with in that room, which I don't really like. We don't really have any bedside tables in there. We're actually working with a HelloFresh box at the moment. There's a lot of kind of antique wooden furniture, mismatched furniture, candles and candlestick holders, a lot of little trays with stuff in them. There's some more striped bedding. I quite like the look of that, but I also really just like plain white. I think plain white looks really cool as well. A lot of pops of green from plants. So there's a lot of books on bookshelves. I do have a lot of books. I feel like there are just kind of spaced throughout the flat, so it would be really cool to fill up some of the shelves with the books that we have. It also is really nice, I think, when there's a lamp in front of the mirror. Something I'm also loving is using chairs or stools instead of tables. Also, you can see in this one how mismatched all of the furniture is. I just think it's really nice. It's like a lived in look. I don't like anything to be too perfect or too symmetrical. I like small pictures in big frames. Like, I love the way that that looks, or like a picture that just doesn't quite fit the frame that it's in. I'm enjoying like random clusters of things stuck to the wall. I feel like it looks quite unique. Maybe this is a little bit too much wall art for that room just because the wall is so big. It would take a lot of art to fill it up. I love the way that this looks, for example. So just some like random Polaroid pictures, little posters jumbled together with some books, trinkets and trays. There's definitely a common theme here. Hopefully I can recreate this. I just really want to do the best I can to get as close to this as I can without breaking the bank. Let's see how we get on. Step 2 is to head to the charity shops and see what we can find. Heading up Lothian Road, I am keeping an eye out for any charity shops that look good. Morningside is where I have my sights focused for the best kind of homeware ones. I'm gonna have a quick look in the British Heart Foundation. This table is nice, bit too big. It's only £15 though. This is £8. I kind of like this. I feel like there was a lot of chrome on the Pinterest board. This could be nice for putting jewellery in. I love this. This is a really good thrift shop, full of treasures in here. I actually picked up that projector for £15. I don't know if it's going to work. I feel like it was worth the risk. I am now in the main part of Bruntsfield and I'm going to go into Chest, Heart and Stroke because that's one of my favourite charity shops. This is quite nice. £9. I feel like it would look good on the mantelpiece. Something I'm noticing is pictures in frames are a lot more expensive than I thought they were. I need to make sure I find the right one that I really like. It's a long process, but it's worth it to wait for the right items. I'm gonna go into this one because look at all of the little pieces of furniture already. This is really nice, but I don't think I need any more cabinets, unfortunately. This lamp would be perfect if it didn't have flowers on it. I'm not having much luck on the furniture hunt. I need to maybe just use today as more of a bric-a-brac search, which is fine. This is the perfect little side table. You can see down there it says not for sale. I'm so sad. This is literally perfect. up some bits yesterday. I wasn't successful as I would have liked to have been. I'm about to head out today and look for furniture. That's like what I'm really focused on finding today. So hopefully I can find a little bedside table today. Last night I went out to do some recycling at the bins near our flat. Beside the bins there was a bunch of artwork that I guess someone was throwing out. There was one specific piece that I quite liked and I thought, this is a huge piece of art. It's kind of what I'm looking for. This is the piece of art that was completely free. It's like a street with light kind of only hitting the middle and then the rest of the street is kind of shadowed on the side. When do you ever find large pieces of artwork on the street? I mean, I've never found any large pieces of nice artwork on the street. And the one time I'm filming a thrifting video to redesign a room, I find one. So that was free. I also picked up this little pot that says on it, do not hurry, do not flurry, nothing good is got by worry. This little silver tray, which I feel like would be cool for putting jewellery in or keys or maybe even a candle or something like that. And this was £5. I got this little drawing which was £2.50. This is like a black and white line drawing. For a little pop of colour, I picked up this little red Carlsberg lager ashtray and it's got like a naked lady in the middle of it. This little plain frame which was £2.50. I then found this slightly bigger frame also for £2.50. Today is gonna have to be a very productive one. Let's go. First stop are the Stockbridge charity shops. £35 for this nest of tables, and I also quite like that one, but that one is not for sale. That is so gorgeous, that little desk, but it's £225. Let's go in here. This is looking promising. I went for this cabinet. This is quite cute as well, this little storage unit. I'm so happy with that cabinet. I think I've earned myself a coffee. They're gonna hold on to it until 5 o'clock and I can come pick it up. I have had a very rough past 24 hours. I was so productive yesterday and I was like rushing around in the freezing cold all day, getting so much stuff, going from Leith to Dalry, literally places in opposite ends of Edinburgh, and like trying to go to as many places as I could. I've come down with a really bad flu. I'm just having a Lemsip right now. I don't know if, is that a UK thing? Do people outside the UK have Lemsip? Basically Lemsip I think is like this powder. I think it might have paracetamol in it. I don't know if it's just placebo that it kind of feels like a pain relief, but I like to get the lemony one, and you add it to some hot water. Really takes the edge off an illness. It then turned into like a really bad earache. My head felt like it was going to explode last night. I'm just going to show you the final things that I got for the room. First item that I got was a candlestick from Shelter in Stockbridge. There was 2 of these and I did feel quite bad about splitting them up. I now kind of wish that I'd gotten the other one. £6 from Shelter. This was £3 and it looks glass, but it's actually plastic. I wish it was glass. I really thought it was glass, but I just thought these were cute. I quite like that they're mismatched. I then went into a little shop called Caoba. It's spelled C-A-O-B-A, and that's in Stockbridge. This shop is so good for getting like little gifts and stuff. This is not a charity shop or a vintage shop. That's where I like to get my coloured candlesticks from. So I went for a green, like a light green, and then more of like a limey green, I guess, / yellow. And then I got a white one as well. While I was in there, I picked up this extra little candlestick holder. I really went in on the candlestick holders. I think this was £3.50. This also doesn't have like a price tag on it. It's like a little flower. They had this in all different colours as well. They had blue and green. I went for a baby pink. Next I went into British Heart Foundation. That was also in Stockbridge, and I picked up this piece of art, a little seaside kind of fishing village with a fishing boat, and I just really love the colours in this. I think it's really cozy and unique. This was £7. Next, I picked up this big glass photo frame from Shelter. This was also £3. I feel like that's quite a bargain. This is a really, really nice photo frame. This mirror was £10 and I got this one from Bernardo's in Stockbridge. Where I'm imagining it is above here as you're leaving the bedroom or you're coming into the bedroom. I just sometimes think it's nice to also have a mirror that's at your head level. Next and final thrifted item that I got, which is probably the main piece for this room that I've bought in this video, is the little gorgeous cabinet that I got from the Bethany shop in Stockbridge, and it's just so nice. Final thing that I got, a non-thrifted item, and this is something that I really struggled to find in the charity shops. In the inspiration pics that were on the board, there was a reoccurring lamp that I really loved, and it was this kind of like circle glowing orb lamp that I just thought was so nice and warm and cozy. And I actually found out what kind of lamp this was. It was only £19 and I thought, I'm just gonna buy it. It is the IKEA Fado lamp. You have to buy a light bulb separately, and I actually decided to buy a smart bulb so I can put any kind of colour through the lamp and I can kind of control it from my phone as well. I'm sat here in the finished room. I'm so happy with the way it turned out. I showed my boyfriend as well, and I think the plan is that we're going to move into this bedroom. That's what happens when you do up your spare room. You end up loving it so much that you want to move into it. So this is going to be our new bedroom moving forward. We are eventually going to move the bed through. We're going to switch these beds so that our king bed is through here. This one's a double, and we just got really used to sleeping in a king, and we've got so much space. So we will move that eventually, but not yet. I'm going to quickly just give you a little tour and show you the room. And yeah, I'm just so excited that this is our bedroom. So this is the initial view when you kind of walk in the door. The projector is well and working, and we're gonna figure out a way that we can project it onto the wall opposite the bed. So I think Fraser's thinking of building a shelf so that we can do that. I can insert some clips of us using it in our old room. I decided to put the little line drawing of the village in here, and I just think it looks really cute. And then I've just got a few of my favourite perfumes and then some flowers down here. I've kind of kept it a bit bare. I kind of want to buy more stuff to fill up these shelves, but as I was saying before, I don't want to just buy things for the sake of it. I want to really take my time and buy the perfect pieces. So eventually, hopefully, I will fill this up with some more charity shop finds, and I'll keep you posted as I do that. But this is what I've got so far. And then my boyfriend's side over here, we've got a plant there that kind of falls over all of his books, which I love. And then down here, he's got like cribbage, chess, and playing cards. Then moving to the left slightly is the fireplace and the mirror in the corner. This area that you can see right now is actually my favourite section of the room, and it's probably the area where I've got the most bits that I picked up over the past few days. So we'll start with the fireplace. Here on the right hand side, I decided to put one of my favourite pictures that I've taken of my boyfriend ever. I decided to just put it in there with a little bit of white paper behind it, and I think it looks really cute. That's the new little candlestick holder that we got, and I put the green candle in there. There's this little house here that I got when I was in Greece with my cousin on holiday. I just love picking up little trinket things like that remind me of a trip that aren't as kind of obvious. And then this little bird pocketbook that we got from a shop in Stockbridge called Scout. Then here in the middle is a piece of art that we found on the street. I just like the way that this one looks with the black frame. I was actually trying to alter one of the pieces of art that we got that was like in a much bigger frame, probably more similar to the piece of art behind me that you can see. And I was trying to like get the frame out and I accidentally smashed it. It didn't go to plan. So I went with this one instead, and I'm actually much happier with it. I'm so lucky that I didn't get cut. Moving swiftly on from that, we have the silver candlestick that I got from Shelter, which I love. I love all of the colours over here. I feel like they really match with the painting next to it. I've got the little silver tray that's got my jewellery and my watches in it. I've got a little set of photo booth pictures in the back with like white backing, which I love. And then the little pot that says, do not hurry, do not flurry, nothing good is got by worry. I've also got a little tulip here in an old Orangina bottle. This little cozy corner is so nice. I'm obsessed with this fado lamp. I'll actually link it down below, the lamp that I got and the light bulb, because if you're looking for something that's going to make your space super cozy and it's not expensive, this was only £19, I highly recommend this lamp and the bulb that I got, because I have the app. The app is so good and it's so easy to set up. You don't need a smart hub, you don't need anything, you just literally need Wi-Fi and a phone. You can make the lamp brighter, or you can like change it to any kind of colour. You can make it green and blue and pink, but like I'm probably not going to do that realistically. I kind of have a preset with like a cozy orangey red colour, which I love. But yeah, obsessed with that lamp, and I love the way that it looks on top of my new cabinet as well. And I really decided to copy the Pinterest board on this one and keep the cozy lamp near the plant and near the mirror as well, because I really like the way that those things look when they're reflected in the mirror. You can immediately see it when you walk in the room. I've got all of my makeup and my hair products in this cabinet, so that when I'm sitting doing my makeup and my hair in the mirror, I just have them all next to me, which is perfect. I also decided to keep my boyfriend's amp. I can use this as a little stool and just turn it around and sit on it when I'm doing my makeup and my hair. And then I just have this really tall plant, which again, I just love the way that the leaves kind of like reflect in the mirror and you can see it as soon as you walk in the room. Decided to just put it on top of a stack of books because I just wanted to give it a little bit of extra height. I also forgot to mention that just down here I've got the little ashtray. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to put in there yet. I'm not going to be smoking in my bedroom. I think I might put like earrings or something in it just when I take those off. This is just some pictures that we bought when we were in Iceland from a local photography shop. We actually visited some of the spots that you can see there. I just decided to put them in this frame that I thrifted and I really like the way that it turned out. Not to forget about this little picture, the little fishing boat in the fishing village. I've just put that on the wall up here. It's very small for the space that it's in, but that's what I kind of like about it. I think it looks really cute. This is the view from standing in the corner that I just showed you. I'm really already moved in. You can see my dressing gown on the back of the door there. I saw benches at the end of the bed in quite a lot of the Pinterest pictures, and we had this bench here when we moved in, so I just decided why not put it at the end of the bed. I also just think it's good for when you want to get into bed but you've got a bunch of stuff on the bed, you can just move it onto the bench. Bedding wise, I just stuck with some plain white bedding and I did some kind of florally quilt throw over the top that we had lying around. Loving that. I also decided to put some striped pillowcases behind our white ones at the front. I love this big piece of art that I showed you that we picked up off the street. The street in the middle really matches the lamp in the corner when I have that on, the kind of orangey colour. And then this is kind of the little bedside area. I was thinking about putting the cabinet that I bought here, the one that I thrifted. I felt like that was a little bit too hidden. I really wanted to show off that cabinet. So here I've just got a little stool that my mum bought us actually from TK Maxx. I'm using it as a bedside table. I've always used it as a bedside table, but I thought that that really fit the Pinterest board. I've put here our little salt lamp. This is just such a warm, cozy light as well. I've brought my diary through just to encourage myself to keep going with writing in my diary. And then I've got the little candlestick and the pink candlestick holder that I showed you that I bought yesterday. Just on the wall here, I decided to do what I saw a lot on the Pinterest board as well, which is just like random little things, just kind of sticking them on the wall in a little cluster, and I really like the way that this looks. That is the whole room. I've showed you everything I think that I thrifted and how I've kind of styled it in the room. I'm so happy with it. I think it just shows how happy I am with it, the fact that my boyfriend and I are already moving into this room and making it our own bedroom. So I feel like if it wasn't for Pinterest, this room would look nowhere near as good. Again, similar to what I said in the charity shopping video, having a Pinterest board and looking for common themes on it really does help you focus on what kind of things you're looking for and avoid buying random stuff that you don't need. Yeah, I feel like this would have been far more expensive to do if I hadn't gone charity shopping. And also, I just don't think it would be as nice. Like, I feel like it would be super modern and like it just wouldn't really be my style. I hope that you can kind of see it kind of shows a little bit of my personality. I love making these videos. If there's any other things that you can think of that I can do incorporating the Pinterest board and then recreating it, please let me know. I feel like I could do recipes, hair, I could do it. The list is endless. Pinterest really is my best friend. I love it. If you don't already, go follow me on Pinterest. Follow me on Instagram as well because I post over on there. I was actually posting as I was charity shopping, so If you follow me over there, you might have seen me posting some bits and bobs kind of behind the scenes. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe. It really helps me out, and you can comment or give it a thumbs up. I'm really sorry that the energy has been so low at the end of this video, but hopefully next week I'll be feeling a lot better, and I will see you then. I'm so ill.